Hello, I'm Cameron Leverett, and this is a demo video for eShop, an e-commerce application I recently built. I wanted to start the video off by talking about the process of building it. So when I first got the idea, I was inspired by Target's website. So I needed the data in order to make it look like Target's website, and so my idea was to just scrape Target's website. I used Crawly and Apify to scrape the data. I created a GitHub Actions pipeline to deploy everything. It simply SSHs into the EC2 that I have for this, and it pulls the latest from main, and then it runs the Docker container for PostgreSQL and for the Node application itself. It then uses Caddy to direct all the traffic on port 80 to localhost 4000 where the application is running. I'm using Route 53 to direct the traffic to the EC2 container, right? And then I have S3 buckets, which store the images, and I use Versal to deploy the front end application. Let's go ahead and actually create an account. So I recently created a Tony Stark account, so let's go ahead and create a Stephen Strange account. So we say Stephen Strange, and then we say Stephen.strange@gmail.com. And then we'll enter a password. It has to be a strong password. So I'll just say pass 1, 2, 3, 4 for now. And then enter a phone number. I'm gonna enter a BS phone number just to get started because I want to show you this. So it's telling us not a strong password because you need to have at least one uppercase letter. All right, so let's go ahead and fulfill that requirement. Okay, and then now you need to have a special character. So let's replace the S's with dollar signs. And then we don't have matching passwords now. So boom. And so now that's working. But it is still not a valid phone number. It knows. It knows. And the reason it knows is because 5555 is obviously just not a phone number. There's also using a package class validators, and this is able to determine whether or not this is a real phone number. And there is a programmatic way to determine whether or not something is a real phone number. Whether or not it's active or not isn't really is not what's questioned, but whether or not it is validly a phone number or not. So like the area code and things like that, so on and so forth. So then we can go ahead and add like a fake number like I think that should work. And then boom, Stephen is somebody now. He's got an account. Stephen might be, tired, so we'll go ahead and add a pillow. Maybe Stephen really, really loves music, so we can go ahead and add some headphones here. So we'll look at the product. Oh yeah, he looks at it and it looks pretty good. So then we can go ahead and just add those. And they're pretty cheap. I didn't realize Stephen was so into gaming, but maybe he's got a son now. I don't know. He doesn't. Not that I'm aware of. He does not have a son. So then we've got a couple items in our cart here. It says we got 3 items in our cart. So if he's going to be sleeping, he's probably going to want like some sort of blanket. So go ahead and add that to the cart as well. So then now we have a couple products in here. Maybe he doesn't want the headphones. Maybe he wants 2 pillows. Maybe he wants 2 blankets as well, in case he loses one or one gets dirty, or he's washing one and he wants to go to bed. So we'll go ahead and continue to check out. So upon trying to check out, you're going to have to enter information, right? You're going to have to enter your shipping information. So go ahead and, oh wait, it's Stephen. Go ahead and enter Stephen's information. He's Stephen Strange, otherwise known as Dr. Strange. Now I live in Sparks, so it's giving me all the results for Sparks based on some Google geolocation stuff. Anyway, so we need somewhere to ship all these products to. So now we need to re-enter a phone number, but we'll just go ahead and enter the same. If I can remember, I think it's 775, right? It doesn't have to be the same phone number though. And then we can just say like, and then we just say like that. And then go. And we add that address. Now we need to add a payment. Now I already have this memorized because I was testing a lot. So 424242, and then 444. Apps tab 444. What this is actually just a Stripe test card. So Stripe has the test cards that you can use, and it's still in test mode because I'm not going to put it into production because then it's going to be actually taking real payments, and I want people to be able to test this. And in the future, I'm planning on putting a little note there what is a default card number that you could use. And we can go ahead and immediately set this as our default, save it and continue. All right, now our payment method is there. And if we wanted to, we could switch the payment method based on other payment methods. Stripe has a bunch of cards that you can use. So this is a MasterCard. And so we'll do the same thing and then enter some random data. Now, as long as you have the card number right, it's going to know it's a test one. I'm not going to set that as my default just yet, but I can change it if I wanted to. And so now we can go ahead and place the order. And it kind of gives you a breakdown of all the things that you purchased, the price, where it's shipping to, kind of just to reconfirm, hey, this is what you're doing, this is the products that you're buying. So we can go ahead and place that order. Once this order continues, it's going to take us to a success page. Then we can view that order and then look at it. Yeah, okay, that's our order. Then we have like the information where it's shipped to, where the the breakdown of the shipping costs and all that stuff. Some of this stuff is just like shipping is free. That would be awesome if it always was. In this case, it is. Taxes are kind of made up. I base it off of where I live. There's a programmatic way of doing it, but that's not currently the case, and I can make those updates in the future. And so these are the products. So this is just when I click view product, or you can click buy again. You can add it to your cart immediately. And then now that we have an account, we have all that information, we can actually like add new cards on our account. So I could add in a new card if I wanted to here. Let's add a JCB one here, and then just paste that in. Again, you don't need to add, you don't have to add, these don't have to be valid or expiration ones, but you can just enter them in as long as the card number's okay. And then we can set that as default immediately. Okay, and it's saving the card, and then it sets it to default. And then we can go back into our account and we can look at our addresses. We didn't set this as default when we first created it, so now we can go ahead and set as our default, and then it shows up. And then we can add a new address if we wanted to, like 222. Oh wait, that's not Steven. Or we could just say maybe he's got an address for Tony Stark. So he says Tony Stark, and then just do the same kind of deal where we just add it here. And then that's the information that we have, some 5. And then, what's it? I think that was right. Oh, and then yeah. And so you could then change your default address or whatever. So right now it's Steven. We change it to Tony. We go back, Tony's there. We change it back to Steven. We come back, it's Steven. And then you can make changes like to your name, like Steve instead. And then save those changes. And then now your name is Steve. When you go back, Steven. As you can see up here in the corner, it's a Steve. And then we just go back to Steven. And then you can update the rest of your information and stuff like that. Look at your past cards. You can then view past orders that you've made. That's also in your orders. And yeah, you can view different, you can look at top deals and look at like all the information here for top deals, and like you can also search stuff. For example, toys, one of the one of the searches I make the most. You could also like type in PlayStation or something like that. Oh, PlayStation. And then you can look at like, oh, there's all this PlayStation stuff, and you can view the game, and it kind of gives you, oh, it's in kids electronics. I don't really know how it ended up in kids electronics. You're gonna have to take that up with Target. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I mean, this is the application. There's a little bit of issues. Go ahead and make issues on GitHub if you really like to, or if you want to. And yeah, I really hope you liked the video. I really hope you guys liked the application. You guys have a wonderful day.